right now, and I think that
Hola.
I think we'll get more people coming in as
So,
time goes.
where are you from, Ben?
All right, I just wanted to get myself into the car here. I was originally from around Pennsylvania, but I have been in Oregon for about 25
Oh,
years now.
okay.
Where at in Oregon?
I'm down in Eugene.
Oh man, we're like really close. I'm up in Washougal, Washington.
Yeah, I know. I remember when you were posting about, I think you went to the Tone Made Pros clinic
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Portland. I was thinking, man, that's close enough for me to drive too, but I was too lazy to do it.
Where in
Okay,
Pennsylvania are
I
you
remember.
from?
Okay, great. That's well. Hey, we should get together sometime and do something.
Yeah, if you're ever up for the road trip here from ever getting up there for sure.
Well,
As far as what part of Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh area.
oh, okay, because I'm from Philly originally.
Well,
Oh, okay.
well, in your neck of the woods, I plan on going again this year. Is the Guitars Under the Stars?
Who's going to be there, Chad?
I don't know yet. The information's not out, but it's in what's that little town that's near you? There's a little town.
How little? There's Springfield near here,
Yeah,
Cottage Grove,
not
Crestwell.
not Springfield. I forget the name of it. It's off to the east, kind of a country town. Uh,
Oh, is that over in Bend, maybe, or
no, no, not
Sisters?
not that far. Not that far east.
Oh, okay.
Literally within like 20, 30 miles of you. Um,
Leeburg, maybe? Leeburg, or
no, no. You know what? I'll find it. I'll find it. Um,
Yay, Google.
Lebanon,
That's in Pennsylvania, too.
Lebanon, Oregon. That's close to you,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Actually, Lebanon is where my wife is from.
Okay.
Lebanon, Oregon. But it was kind of funny because I grew up in Pennsylvania, and as he mentioned, we have a Lebanon in Pennsylvania as well.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what. We'll keep in touch and maybe we'll go check out. Last year was Larry Mitchell, Gary Hoey. It was Ty Curtis. You know Ty Curtis?
I don't, but I've heard of the other two guys.
Yeah. And then it was um, and I kind of had an inside track to Los Lonely Boys.
Oh, they're awesome.
Yeah, and then also um, Robert Cray.
Oh, wow.
I know Robert Cray's keyboardist.
Oh, right on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he's been through Eugene a couple of times in the past, I remember.
I love Robert Cray, but what? Yeah, hey, Raspberry, how's it going? You gonna talk today?
Is that the Russian guy?
Gary Chin, he's in here. We're getting people. I knew we'd get people.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm outside, so I don't want to make too much wind noise.
Oh, no problem. And the horns.
Traffic, California traffic, man.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. We're going to be going for a while, so if you get in the traffic situation, feel free to just come back in a little bit. Um,
Hey,
but
Chad,
yeah.
can you address that acoustic thing? Because I don't know if my voice is going to handle being on here for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. So explain to me
Okay.
again what you want.
You know how, have you seen, I saw it today. It was a Rush concert, and he was doing some song. He had his Paul Reed Smith plugged in, and he had two cables coming from him. One was acoustic, and one was electric. Is there a way to do one patch with two things like that, as if I had a Godin guitar?
Yeah, no problem. Let me pull it up here.
Okay.
And I'll show you what to do. Hold on. And do you have a guitar like that?
No, I don't. That's
okay. Yeah. So you need to get a guitar that has electrics, kind of like the Variax, and its own like a piezo bridge.
Well, I have the guitar synthesizer, the GR55, so I have a GK pickup on my other Strat.
Okay, yes. So just like that. In fact, I can show.
Oh,
there's
okay.
actually a video I think I did because I had not the GR55, but I had the GP10. The
Oh,
GP10.
okay.
I didn't like it. I wasn't. I liked the Variax better. But let me show you what
So
I'm.
you have to do it with that. You can't just plug into a Strat or a Les Paul and do it that way.
No, well,
Okay.
yeah, well, no, because you need to have the piezo bridge.
I got you. Okay.
But let me show you. It's really quite simple.
Okay.
So hold on, let me close this.
I've got 11 guitars, so it's kind of hard to pick and choose sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I understand. So let me put that over there.
Okay.
I'll share the screen here real quick. Yeah, there it is, and I'll share. Present to everybody.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you can see it, and then so what you do is you have this one, and you can change this one to say, let's just say you want this one to be guitar.
Okay.
And then you go down to this line, and you change it to auxiliary. So now
Oh,
you
okay.
you just
Gary sent me something like this today.
yeah, very simple. That's just
Okay.
really that simple. And so like if you had the Variax, let's just say you sold a couple of guitars and you got yourself a Variax.
Okay.
What you would do is you go in here and you change one of them to Variax, and then you change the other one to Variax magnets. So it's pulling the magnets,
Gotcha. Okay.
and then you can just go back and forth between the two.
And that's it.
That's it.
No impulse response needed.
Nope. I mean, if you wanted to make no. I mean,
Okay.
you have to make your your path the way you want it to sound.
Okay.
But basically you turn one off, you make one path sound the way you want it. Turn the other one off, make it sound the way you want it, and then do your blends.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. It's great.
Yeah, you could use the FXN too from the GR55. Just send out from that to the FXN, and then create whatever things you want to add to the FXN, you know, down the other chain as well.
Okay.
That's right. Yes. Or you can actually there was a way I had. Well, I don't know whether the GR55 will do it, but the way I had my GP10 set up is I had the main guitar going into the GP10, and then there was a guitar out, and then the guitar out went into the guitar in on the Helix. So I was able to actually through some wiring be able to do it without even doing this per se.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was
Check
able
that out.
with the GK pickup to switch between the two.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, because I got the GK on my Les Paul, so I'll probably use that one.
Right. So actually, I could help you because I think there's a video on my site or on my channel. If you just look back a little ways through my channel, you'll find one that actually explains the GP10 and kind of how I got it set up. Okay. And the GP10 is basically the same thing as the GR55. It's just GR55 has more.
Right. It's different.
It is different, but it's
I'm saying that because the other night, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's not better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah.
Can you get the mag pickups over the GK13 pin feed as well, or do you have to run a 1/4 inch off of that?
You have to run a 1/4 inch out, but that's on top of the on the GK3 pickup.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just run the 1/4 directly from the guitar to the Helix in.
Right, and then run the other patch from the GK pickup.
The other patch into either auxiliary or the effects in.
Yeah.
The reason why I ran the guitar in and out like that is because I wanted to use the models that were included. But
on my Godin, I used to have an XTSA that had 3 of them. It had the acoustic in, acoustic out, electric out, and the synthesizer out. So I was able to do all 3 at once. But I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, well, you got 4 returns on the Helix, so plus the guitar in and the eggs in, the aux, so you could theoretically do like 6 feeds to that thing all at one time.
I can't believe I only had this thing for about 3 weeks, and I'm just like, it's blowing my mind what this thing does.
It's truly an amazing piece of gear, I must say.
I even told my wife once I learn this thing, I'm getting rid of all my amps except my JC120, and that's just I won't need amps anymore. Sure. I still have gas. Excuse me.
I don't.
You do. Everybody's got gas, man.
Hey, I did get this though. I tell everybody I got this.
That's considered gear.
Yeah, I know. I got my Helix backpack today.
That's in case you go camping up in the mountains, right?
Yeah, it won't be any good, but I can go.
I got one more question, then I'm gonna sign off.
Okay.
If I can explain this correctly, why is it that you have the first line going across, and then sometimes you have the second line? And I understand how it goes through one and comes out the other. It's because the screen's not long enough. I understand that part. Why do you have to have multiple splits that go back?
Yeah.
My understanding is distortion pedals go in front of the amp, and all time-related effects go through the effects loop.
Yes, you're right. But because the Helix is so versatile, let me pull it up again, and I'll show you I'll show you why. The Helix has basically two. I'll just make it as simple as possible. They have two computers, right?
Right, DSP.
Yeah, for their DSP. And so let me show you. So if I look here and go, this first one is one DSP. This second one is DSP number 2. Now what's interesting is if I take and drag this. Oh, hang on. If I take and drag this down, there's actually more DSP that is available to you on DSP 1.
So it's like using an aux send on recording.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, but so that continues on the second line, but how come it comes back in and then some more go out the other way? Can you have two aux channels?
You can actually do. See what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
You can actually have.
Wow.
See, now I have 3 lines, right? There's a 4. So let me show you. So right here.
Do 4 of them?
You can do 4 of them.
But what's the purpose of that?
You can have it do many different things. You can have a microphone on one. You can have a bass player on another. You can have a guitar player one on one and guitar player one on another.
So and all out of the Helix, you can have 4 things.
Yes. And so you can take. Let me pull this one down so I can explain it. So let me pull this down. And then you pull this down.
That is insane.
And then you pull this down. So now, so let's just say I have my guitar. I want to go into my amp, and Joe is over here playing his guitar. He wants to go into his amp. He can do it because he can go out. You can go out to many different outs.
Oh, like the effects send and return.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can literally send. You can go left, right, front, back.
But how do you plug 4 instruments into the Helix? You can't, right?
Yeah, you use. So let me show you. So let's just go here. Guitar. First one, I'm going to do guitar. Second one, I'm going to do aux in.
Okay.
Third one, I'm going to do a mic, and the fourth one, I'm going to do a return 1.
Okay.
So now I have 4 different inputs.
But where on the Helix do you plug these all into?
On the back.
Well,
So you have a guitar in, you have an auxiliary in, you have a microphone in, and you actually have four returns that can be used as ins.
Oh my gosh!
And then you can go this way. If I go over here, and I say, okay, I want this one to go out of 1/4 inch.
Oh, I see.
I want this one to go out of XLR.
Like a keyboard or something, right?
Right, and I want this one to go out to send 1, and then I want this one to go out to send 3 and 4. So I can literally have it go 4. So I can literally have it going 4 separate ins and 4 separate outs.
So the rest of the band doesn't even need to bring amps.
Well, they need to
well, if they have earbuds.
Actually, yeah, because they could all go to the front of the house. They could all
have earbuds or monitors in the front.
Right.
Wow.
Now, mind you, this DSP, they're going to be very basics.
Right.
Because you're using a lot of DSP to split on 4 lines.
So if me and my buddy are jamming and we're just trying to get some ideas, he can plug into the Helix with his bass, and I can plug my Zen drum into the Helix and put some reverb on it or whatever. You know, that thing I showed you with the drums?
Yeah.
and I can play guitar through it too. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Oh yeah. No problem.
I'm just like, this is awesomizing to me. It really is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
bizarre.
So when people are sitting here wanting to compare in any fashion to like Axe FX as far as routing,
yeah,
it's just there's hands down there's not a comparison.
Wow. So we can have a band practice thing in here, and all I have to do is plug up the electric drums to an amp, and everybody else can go through the thing, go through my JBLs.
You could actually have
Wow.
well, you didn't even need to do that. You could actually take and go off of the headphones out.
Yeah. Well, I have a headphone amp too.
You could literally all be having headphones.
That's true.
And have a completely quiet practice.
My wife will think we're down there doing something we're not supposed to. That is really cool, man.
Yeah.
Something just told me to get the Helix instead of the Kemper, because I wanted to get the Kemper, but I think didn't you explain it to me how it's a snapshot?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of people out there may have said it. It's just a snapshot of a piece of an amp.
Moment, right?
Of a moment, and if you've got adjustments, but it's going to adjust in its own
that
time.
Moment. Right.
But Helix adjusts it because it's going to act like the real amp.
Right.
Because it's component level. So when, let's just say you take one amp that has a certain characteristic that you turn knobs and it doesn't do much on the real amp. Yeah. When you turn the knobs here, it's going to be the same thing. And then you have other amps that are out there that you got a lot of different sounds.
Oh, yeah.
A sweep. They're going to basically be mimicked here.
You know what's funny about this thing? The E flat tuning I was sharing with you earlier.
Yeah.
I did that and I set it up on a patch, something from Glenn DeLong thing, it's the Stevie Ray thing, and I had the guitar detuned, and I could sit and play along with Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff, no problem, or Van Halen stuff, and it's like these amps actually feel like what I would think those amps are supposed to. I never really played a lot of big, real nice amps, but you have to fight it a little bit, like a real amp.
Yes, yeah, that's where the sag comes in.
Okay.
Yeah, and so sag has a tonal component.
I'm sagging right here. I mean, this whole thing's sagging.
Yeah, me too. I got the sag going on. But the sag more affects your feel.
Yeah. Okay.
You feel it, and I know somebody was talking, and that they wanted to use the. I think it was in the other broadcast. It was Hans. It was Hans yesterday, and he has a DT series amp.
Now what is that?
That's the Line 6 tube wizardry amp that they came out with. The Bogner, and it switches actual tube circuits, so it feels like the different amps it models. It feels that way.
Oh wow.
Well, the thing about it is, Helix has taken and done that without even all the switching. It doesn't, and I feel the difference when I play different amps on here.
I never played through a real AC30, but I was playing one today, and I was like, man, this is going to change my playing.
It is.
I've already got inspired and came up with some really cool riffs just by playing with these amps today.
Yeah, and then there's people out there who I realize that this is not an eventide. Quality of effects in some ways, but I can get just about any kind of tones I wanted to out of it.
Yeah.
I can get shimmers. You just be creative with what you do here and think out of the box. Well, again, Eventide has made it easy on some of their patches to get certain shimmers.
Yeah, but how much does an Eventide harmonizer cost? Like
$500? No,
$500. 5,000.
No, 500.
I'm talking about the big blue thing.
Oh.
Like what Steve Vai has. He's got two of them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was talking about like the Eventide.
H9.
The H9, or even the other company. There's another company.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either. Lexicon.
Strymon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing about it is, I would love to have those because I love hearing the sonic differences. But I get so many good sonic sounds out of the Helix that to me it's not important.
You know what's funny? I've had every Line 6 thing they've ever had, starting with the Lima Bean thing.
Yeah.
And when I saw the Helix thing, my first thought was, oh, it's going to sound digital like all the other ones. But then I looked online and I just did, just looked around, and who did I talk? I talked to somebody who I think either had one or played through one, and they said, you got to at least try it because it'll just blow your mind. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to get it, and if I don't like it, I can send it back. But I'm going to get rid of my amps instead. Hey, Ben, I'm a newbie, so I'm asking all these questions because I keep coming up with these things that I want to do, and I hear voices or sounds in my head. Believe me, it's the medication. My wife will tell you, it's the medication. Not enough medication. That's what it is. Yeah.
Hey Ben, what do you think of that T-shirt that I'm designing?
I've liked a lot of the iterations. I think you got a lot of good ideas. I liked like some of the X motif where you use the greater than and the less than sign. Yeah. Some of those are nice looking. Also, I thought the one that had the more of a logo on it had the guitars with the shield and the crown.
That was kind of neat.
I thought those were pretty neat. As far as the words that you put on there, I think that's going to be such a personal thing. Even you see from the feedback on the group, everybody has a different opinion of, I would rather it have a cute saying like it's in your DNA, or I would rather have it be as simple as possible with nothing other than the X. You know what I mean? It's like once you start putting words on there, everyone's going to have a super personalized view of, well, will I wear these words on my chest, or would I rather have it be as abstract as possible? Yeah. So it's probably going to be a thing. I don't know how you're planning on doing it, like if you have to pre-print the shirts or if this is through like a cafe press or something, but probably having a lot of options if it's possible.
I'm gonna have a few options. I'm trying to keep it just as this is what it is, and we can have these many shirts because the price dictates. Quantity matters. So, the more options there are, the more it costs.
Can they get it in like 2 or 3 XL?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, big guys.
I know.
Hey, but Ben, I wanted to say, hey, thanks, Chris. Glad you could be here, and just type anytime you want. But Ben, I like that fade to black. That was awesome. That was great.
Hey, thank you. I have seen Joe Satriani in concert a lot of times. I know it's kind of out of left field, but you'll see where I'm going with this. Back when I first saw Joe Satriani like 20 years ago, he had a different stage presence than what he has now.
Absolutely.
But he would just be playing his guitar, and he would like do something on the guitar, and he would look at his guitar with this amazement, like, I didn't even know that was going to happen. Like, the things that just came out of this guitar is amazing. He would have this look of pure joy on his face. And when I'm doing like a lot of these authentic tones and things, I get that same feeling. I start to kind of get a little bit of where he's coming from. Like, I hear this sound coming out of the Helix, and my brain just detaches from the fact that I'm playing it. It's just like, what? I can't even believe
I did that today.
Today. No, there is something with that, because when I get the right tone, I actually almost think I got drool coming out, like my brain just no kidding, like my brain just shut down and was like, oh my, what in the world? That's just awesome, and it actually really inspires you to play more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really does. I've been playing a ton more now that the editor's out. I feel like I actually have a handle on being able to tweak the tones and stuff. It's just hard for me to get into like kneeling down on the floor or trying to clear off a space on my desk. The editor.
You know what you do, Ben? Here's what you do. You get one of those Manhasset music stands, and you tilt it up and you tighten it up, and you can have it right next to you. That's what I did with mine.
I had one like that. The issue I had is is I couldn't use the pedals like I wanted to. I want to be able to step on the pedals, and I can't stretch to do this. You know. Oh.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I about 2 weeks before the editor came out, I rebelled. I rebelled. I put it on the floor, and I refused to make any more patches until I got the editor.
Yeah, see, I did that because I can't get it down on the floor at all.
Oh yeah, I know.
Not because of my belly, but my legs. But yeah.
Hey Brad. Hey Brad, how's it going?
So, well, I'm gonna get off of here. My throat's
doing fine. Me. Come here.
I'll see you guys later. Thanks,
Thanks,
Chad.
Michael. Hey, feel better, Michael. Feel better.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
So, Ben, the tone that I would like you to make. Yeah, I know you seem to be a little more into the heavy metal tones, but man, I would love a super great Gary Moore. Now I've got Glenn's Gary Moore, and there's some Gary Moore tones that are out there. Are you into blues at all?
More as an appreciator. I'm not very good at playing the blues, and that's a lot of times like thinking about like a Gary Moore patch or something. I can't play Gary Moore to save my life, so it's like, how am I going to come up with a convincing tone to replicate it?
Because one of your theories is, and it's a good theory, is to learn the riff and play along and get the tone with the music. And I concur. You make a better patch that way.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a lot of like you hear like people making a lot of patches for people, and you get them and you play something and you think, that doesn't really sound like. I mean, it's a great sounding patch, but it doesn't really sound like the real thing. But then you play the original riff and you're like, oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple Gary Moore tones that like his tones they're more like 80s tones. Like in Midnight Blues, the famous one of his famous ones, Still Got the Blues. That's more of an 80s, kind of an 80s bluesy, almost like, I know he's playing in a real amp, but it's almost a digitally sounding tone. And I know it's not, but it just strikes me as an 80s kind of a tone. But there's a few of his songs. I mean, I don't know what they are, but there's a few of his tones that just really they reach out and just punch you in the chest. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and what you're saying about the 80s, I think, makes a lot of sense, 80s kind of tones and stuff, because I think that's something that you even hear on, like, some of the 80s stuff that Eric Clapton did. You know, he did some tracks like I Wish It Would Rain or something, where Phil Collins was on the drums and stuff, but you think about Eric Clapton as having this iconic tone and things, but then you listen to something like that track, and it's like it's dripping in chorus and gigantic reverbs. It doesn't sound organic at all. I mean, the playing is still super tasty, but the tone really sounds kind of dated.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I love me a good chorus tone, but it also dates it. Especially if it's a certain type of a chorusy tone or phaser, but you know, I mean, it went with the age. I love the music. So, but let me check Facebook, see if anybody's. We got Chris on, and we got Brad. He's sleeping right now.
I'm in and out. I'm having to watch a baby for a minute.
Oh, no worries. We're glad you're here, Brad. How are things going?
Oh, fairly middling. We had an interesting event in our personal life.
Yeah.
If none of y'all have heard, My wife drove her car to work and parked in the parking lot. Came out after work, got in her car and started up, and it sounded horrible. And so she turned it off right away and called me, and I said, well, I'm at least an hour away. So one of our friends that lives much nearer to where she works went by there, and he had her start it up, and it sounded awful. He shut it off, and he looked underneath the car, and somebody had cut the catalytic converter out from under the car. They stole the catalytic converter.
That's just awful.
Yeah, it's so we've been dealing with that. It's going to be quite expensive to replace, and fortunately, insurance is taking care of a lot of it, but we still have the deductible to deal with. But it is going on. People are stealing those things. There's not much you can do about it.
No, I'm sure sorry that's happened. That's people can really be disappointing at times.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think will insurance cover it, or?
Yeah, they're going to cover it except for the deductible.
And how much is your deductible again?
It's like $500.
Yeah, but when you don't have enough, it's like a mountain.
Oh yeah, it's Mount Everest to us right now.
Yeah, yeah, and just so you know, Chris commented crazy. So Chris is in here. He doesn't have his microphone, so he's texting. So Brad, if you roll your mouse over on the screen and you go to the top one, it's chat window. You can see what's going on.
Yeah, I see him there.
Okay. Glad to have you, Chris. If somebody wants to get into the forums and do another invite, let me put the link in here again. Copy. Let me paste it in the chat window. So if you guys want to invite other people that we know, paste. There it is. That's the joining chat. I'm going to go back in and make sure people know it's on top. But yeah, that's disheartening, especially when you're trying to,
raise money for something else.
Exactly.
It really puts a big burden on that.
Oh man, I know. Let's see if I'm going to put a couple people's names in here to see if they'll come in. Let's see, CHRIS. Let's see, Veritech.
I'm going to go check on her once again. I'll be right back.
Sure. Yes. And let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can get some action going here. Let's see, Henry. There we go. Invite a couple more people on here.
Do many of y'all use like a computer-generated drum machine for any of your home recording stuff or anything?
Yeah, I definitely do.
I am not intelligent enough to do that.
I use Acoustica's. Let me see what it is. Mixcraft. I'm using 6.1, but there's a program called Beatcraft that Acoustica offers that seems to be really good. I downloaded the demo and used it for a little bit, and it seems to be a pretty strong product.
So, so I got my Helix bag today. Helix bag. This thing
the bag is nice.
It is well built. You got one, Ben?
I do. The zipper on one side seems to stick on the side where your right hand is unzipping. About halfway down, there's a seam inside, and every once in a while, when I'm unzipping, it sticks on that seam, and I have to kind of redo it. But
okay.
Other than that, it seems to everything is real smooth and really well put together.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly well made. Not surprisingly, but it's just a very well made piece of gear, and comes with these little Velcro straps. It's got these interesting zipper features inside that it looks like you're not supposed to unzip. So, but yeah, it looks like it's got plenty of room for everything, and I've got my pedal board. It's kind of already got a cover on it, but it's pretty heavy. So if I got something small to go to, I can fit everything in there. I think that's really cool. Might have to take the Velcro back off my board. So.
Yeah, I like the bag. It works out pretty good for me for traveling between stuff. Throwing it in a backpack is really handy. It's a really high quality bag. All the materials are top quality. The zippers are the waterproof zippers, waterproof like luggage quality waterproof zippers.
Right, I was noticing that. If we'll get a good shot of this. See if it'll clear out. There we go. So yeah, this like a rubbery surface on there. So yeah, it looks like it's waterproof and everything. Very cool. Yeah, very cool. And I'm really.
I like your shirt.
What?
I like your shirt. In memory of when I cared.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. I like T-shirts that say different things, and I kind of like to shake it up. Last time was fries. This time it's in memory of when I cared. So, Ben, do you gig out? What do you do?
Yeah, I do a couple times a year. I'm playing with friends at local venues and festivals and stuff like that, and we play sometimes a little bit regionally. But most of the time when I'm gigging, it's just playing in church every week, where I switch between bass and guitar. And then tomorrow we're doing a function on campus. So I'm going to be departing for practice probably here within an hour to go get over there.
Sure. Yeah, this year there's a festival that some friends put on, for like a 3-day festival, and we're gonna the band we're working on 5 songs. So, yay!
Yeah, that kind of stuff is fun. I have kind of an interesting thing for this event on campus tomorrow. Typically, when I'm playing, I go straight into the PA, but I don't think they have a very good PA there, so I was asked to bring a small amp. Well, I don't have a small guitar amp, so I have like this Mesa Boogie half stack, and I think that's going to kind of be overkill for bringing it even with the Helix. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is just bring like my 112 bass speaker and a small power amp and see if I can get the Helix going through that. That's what I'm going to try for practice tonight. I hope it works out.
Well, is the bass speaker, is it 10 inches or?
It's a 12-inch speaker, and I have 2 of them, one with a horn and one without a horn. So I'm gonna plug into each and see which one I like better.
You should maybe plug in one output going into one and one to another. Or
I could.
Would your amp be able to do that?
My amp would be able to do it, but I'm trying to keep it lightweight and keep it small. And they said to bring a small amp, so I don't want to bring a stack of speakers and power amps and cables and all that. I'm going to try and just keep it nice and simple.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what I have this for. It's tiny.
Yeah, that thing looks great.
This amp, man, is just awesome because of the FR nature of it. It doesn't matter if I've got it on like 4, it sounds like the same amp, just less. And then when I put it on to louder, it's just louder. It's crystal clear. It sounds great. And actually, they did such a good job with the integration of the Firehawk on here that I went to band practice without the Helix last time, and I just went through that. And it was really good. It was really good. The Helix still sounds better, but in a live setting, yeah.
How good is good enough?
Well, the Helix or the Firehawk has HD modeling, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, yeah, and it sounds really good. It's again when I do plug in the Helix, it's better. But for what I just did the other day, I just brought my guitar and this and it was enough. Plus, with the Bluetooth connectivity, we were able to play the songs that we were practicing without having any headache. I just literally went to my phone and went, okay, let's listen to this. Oh, hang on, listen, okay, and turn it off and play the song. So, very cool.
Yeah, the feature set of that amp would be pretty good, but it's just not in the budget for me.
No, I get it. One of the nice things, and people are, and I kind of wanted to address this because it comes up all the time. Yeah, but if it didn't have the Firehawk, I'd buy it. Well, here's the thing, and this is what Eric said. He said that when they were making this, there's enough DSP to control the speaker set that there's a significant amount of energy that goes into controlling, because there's 6 speakers in here, and they have to control the wet, dry, wet just by plugging in. It actually can, it crossover features and all that to make it sound good no matter what you plug into it. Well, the Firehawk, if they would have just left the Firehawk out, it would only maybe saved about $100. So, and when you think about it, this is a stereo, left, right, plus you can do wet, dry, wet, which means that would be a 3-speaker system. To get wet, dry, wet, in a typical sense, you'd have your stereo left, your stereo right, and then your guitar, the main part of your guitar after the speaker cab or after just after the distortion and amp would be coming out the center. So that would be a 3rd amp. So in order to duplicate this, you would have to have at least three amps, and it's all in one unit for $9.99. To me, it's a no-brainer. Plus, it's got just about it's not quite as robust as the Helix as far as in and outs, but for an amp, it's got your main ins, you've got main outs. So whatever you put into the ins, it can go out actually to XLR. So I can go XLR into the main ins from the Helix, right? And then out of the main outs of the amp and go right into the mains. So it's a significantly superior feature, and it is loud. It is loud. And I had the L3T amp, Line 6 L3T. It was 1400 watt, and I'll be honest with you, it was heavier. I almost think it's heavier than this, but maybe not. Maybe it's a little lighter. I don't know. But this is 63 pounds, and I put it on a dolly. I got a furniture dolly underneath of it, if you can see down below.
Oh, yeah. Did your camera turn off or something? Or maybe
Mine?
I'm just in low bandwidth mode.
No, mine should be going.
It's going. I'm seeing you anyway.
Yeah, I'm still here. It may be your internet. You keep breaking up a little bit. but you know, this is, in my book, is superior to the L3T, and the L3T, the cost of getting an L3T, and you'd have to get 3 of them to match what this does. Maybe not in power, but in being able to do wet, dry, wet. So for me, the $900, while I understand when people, it's just not in the budget, I get that, but if you're out looking for, well, like if you're going to compare this to the Friedman, while the Friedman may have some specifically great speakers and really have that tone that somebody is looking for, but in order to do what this does, you'll have to get more than one. At least 2. You'll have to get at least 2 to get the stereo effect. And
yeah, absolutely. I definitely believe that the Firehawk is worth every penny for sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely. If it's something that I was in the market to get something to fill that role, that would probably be near the top of my list, if not the very top.
Yeah, I've had Black Star, I've had Black Star tube amps, I've had 2 Fender DeVille 410s. The last one was a USA made, and the last broadcast I pulled these out and went, I'm glad I don't have to worry about these anymore. Tubes, more tubes, more tubes. Because I had a USA Fender 410 tweed DeVille that I hate the hot rod DeVilles. I hate the gain channel. It sounds horrible, but the cleans are great. But I've had the Black Star. I've had the solid state Black Star, the 260 TVP Black Star is a stereo 2-speaker amp, and it's really good. This thing blows it away, like in spades, and I do not regret. And I've had 2 of the Fender Tweed DeVilles, plus I've had some PVs and like the PV. I had a PV Classic 30, and it colored the tone. It sounded great, but it colored the tones. Yeah, I got my Helix. I have my Firehawk. I do not need anything else. I'm set. So I love it. I hope I don't sound like a fanboy. I'm really not a fanboy. It just works. Speak.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much of a matter of being a fanboy, because I wouldn't necessarily call myself a fanboy either, but I definitely have participated in every generation of modeling that they've done.
I have too. Now I've had, as far as modelers, I go back. I've only been playing guitar for 5 years, but I went through getting this gear. Oh, I don't like that. I've had. Well, look here. Let's see if I can get to it. I can't really get to it, but I got a really crusty Spider 75-watt amp, and it's great for what it is, but it's like a toy in comparison to anything I've got now. And I still keep it because this one fell off the truck or something, and it was like destroyed, and it was in the garbage can at Guitar Center. And a buddy of mine, he was going through getting some boxes, and they'd had it in the garbage at the Guitar Center because it was like busted. And I had a pedal that I wasn't using, and he goes, "Hey, this amplifier, it seems to get hot and cut out, and it's all in pieces. I'd trade you that pedal." And so I did, and so I brought it home, and I put it together, and there's these little towers. There's like 3 towers that come off the board, and they're like heat sinks. And what's wrong with them is they don't dissipate enough heat. And so what I did is because I'm a computer guy, I took a CPU, a computer CPU, the fins of a computer CPU, and I dissected it into quarters. So I took a quarter one and I put a hole in the middle, and I screwed it to the top of those towers. So now I have three towers with these little heat sinks at the top, little tiny heat sinks, and the shutdown stopped, and it works. It works perfect, and I got it all put together. I put 6 screws in it, and it's solid. It works. It works perfect. Sounds good, and for basically an almost free amp, I can set it clean and actually use it as almost like a PA, and that's what I was using for some of my Helix when I want to go to band practice. I just plug into that, but yeah, the Firehawk just totally changed it. Now Chris is saying right now he's trying to balance the size and weight really for live wet dry wet. Doesn't really figure into the needs. That's your struggle right now. Firm believer in Line 6. I've used Line 6 amps since the AX 212. Yeah, I agree. And Line 6 has knocked it out of the park with some of even their older stuff, like the Veda. There was a lot of people that were big fans of the Veda, and I went to a show once, and I was like, man, that tone is just awesome. The guitar, it was in your face. It was right at you. It was in the mix perfectly. And I looked at what he had, and he was not using a Spider, but I think he was using a Veda. It sounded awesome. But it was definitely Line 6. It wasn't their DT series. It was the I believe it was the Veda, and it was amazing. So the Line 6 does some good things, and they've had some not so good things like the Spider, you know. But it's not designed for the musician. It's designed for the beginner, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's really true. I first got started with direct recording probably around the early to mid '90s, and the bass player in my band had an ADA MP1, and then he later traded up to an ADA MP2, and the MP2 had built into it. If you remember, ADA also made something they called the microcab. It was a rack mount speaker emulator for direct recording, and this is before digital, before modeling was ever anything.
Right.
And it's like one of these things a lot of guys used for direct recording was this ADA microcab. Well, the MP2 had a small part of the microcab built into it. It only had like 3 cab options, where the microcab had like 16 or 12 cab options, something like that. The MP2 had 3 cabs from the microcab built right into it, and that's when I started doing direct recording. In fact, one of the albums I have for sale on iTunes is the entire album. Every guitar is recorded with the ADA MP2 direct into the console. So that's when I first got started on direct recording, but it wasn't mine. It was the bass player of the band's. So it was just within about 2 years after we were recording that album when Line 6 came out with the original Red Bean pod.
Right.
And I basically made the jump from the MP2 over to that original Red Bean pod, and I was so impressed with the technology and loved the sound of it and all that stuff that I've just been using modelers ever since then. So I've had the original Red Bean pod, and then I went to the Pod XT in a bean format, and I added the shortboard, the FBV shortboard, to the Pod XT. After that was the X3 Live, which was the floorboard unit in that series. Went from there to the HD 500, and now straight from the 500 to the Helix. But that's every generation of modeling that Line 6 has done, and all their products have had something from one of those generations.
Yeah, and I've had the XT bean, I've had the 2.0 bean, I've had the XT Live pedal board. I had the HD 500, then I had the HD 500X, but in between I've also had the Boss GP, or the Boss the 10, and then I've also had the Boss 100. I've also had the Boss ME80, which it did some interesting effects. I kind of like some of the effects, but they are nothing compared to what we have with this today. They're just not even the same ballpark. Now I would still have the Axe effects. I wouldn't replace it with. I mean, I wouldn't get rid of the Helix, but like Larry Mitchell, he uses the Axe effects, and I've heard him live, and his tone live is just phenomenal. That was at Guitars Under the Stars last year with him there, and it's just incredible sounding. But the Helix and what we've got today, it's just blowing. Especially with the routing options, like we were showing Mike earlier about how to route it. It's incredible. It's an incredible piece of work. Strong. I know some people have had a couple issues here or there, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I was also just thinking about that original Red Bean pod. I had it before the Pod 2.0 came out, and when these days, they release a new version of the firmware, and we all go download it and just hit it straight over USB. But with the original Red Bean pod, when they came out with Pod 2.0, I had to send Line 6 $50, and they mailed me an EEPROM chip, a little computer chip. I had to open up the pod unit and use a chip puller to pull the old chip out and put the new 2.0 chip in there, and that's how the firmware updates were done in those days.
Yeah, I know. We've come a long ways, and it actually hasn't been that long.
Yeah, especially in terms of technology.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think we're at the definitely the right time and kind of a pinnacle moment in guitar gear, and I really mean it. I'm done with tubes. I don't need them. I just don't need them. Well, I got some tubes for sale.
I probably still got a couple of Sovtecs in a box somewhere in a garage.
Yeah, these are the JJ tubes, and they're pretty good tubes, and got them from the place here, local Euro tubes. And I've got KT. These are 6L6 GCs and some KT77s and ECC 83Ss and ECC 82s. Yeah, they're all good. I don't need them.
My phone battery's about to die. I'm gonna go plug it in. I'll rejoin from the computer in a minute.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, Brad, how's it going?
Oh, good. I just wish I had a Helix. I've got so many ideas running around in my head. And I know I'll have to redo all these recordings once I get it. So,
well, you could always sell some gear.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
You sell. Yeah. The price that you got going, I know it sounds reasonable, and I don't dispute the price, but on my Strat, when I was having some issues, but the place offered me like $250 for my Strat, which I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like,
they're going to about 600.
Yeah.
Or more.
Well, just the cost of the stuff alone. So Chris goes, yeah, he loves tube amps, but for touring around and stuff, not worth the headache, especially for the current modeling tech from Line 6, Fractal, and Kemper. Yeah. I'm not a Kemper or Fractal hater. I think they're fantastic. And what's the thing about it is Kemper and Fractal would not be here if it wasn't for Line 6. Helix would not be here if it wasn't for Kemper
and Fractal.
Honestly, I mean, just using practical wisdom here. one drives the other. They're needed. You need them all. So
exactly. Everybody has
and,
a different taste, and they're going to get what works for them.
Well, listen. If there was only Microsoft, then we wouldn't be where we are today. But because there's Microsoft, Apple, and the like, now you have a competition. Which one's better? Which one's better? Well, it doesn't matter which one's better. They both do the same thing. I actually need both. I need my PC and I need my Mac. But I don't need an Axifex and Kemper and Helix. So if it wasn't just for the tones, if it was just for the tones, okay, I could take any of them. But ease of use added on top, and then routing options added on top of that. Well, now we're going. I have to have the Helix, and the others would be great. Listen. I would use the Kemper. I would use the Axifex if they gave it to me. And I'm not saying that they need to give it to me. I'm just saying if it was handed to me, I'd use it. I'd keep it.
Right.
But I have the Helix, and so I don't need those things, and so I won't be buying any of those other things. I have everything I need right here, and it's getting better. It's getting better and better.
As you understand it more and how to tweak it and use it.
Well, but not just that. Yes, I had a comment earlier saying, I think somebody said they had it for a month and they loving it more and more each and every day. Well, I've had it for 6 months, and it's still true. Plus, how responsive Line 6 has been with updates. We've already got new models of amps.
Yeah.
We've already got new delays or new effects, and they're working on more. And I believe, like the editor, I believe that Fractal had an issue with their editor when they first started coming on the scene too.
Well, it's not surprising. I mean, that's a complex piece of software, and it has to do a lot to even just communicate with the Helix, much less control all the functionality that it has.
Exactly. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice. So we can talk about other things. We can talk about anything we like today, because it's just the three of us. And then I've been trying to get more people on. Maybe today is just not the day to get people on. That's okay. It's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Some days run that way, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay. I think I had a broadcast yesterday. Did you come on at all?
I didn't. I wasn't able to. I was dealing with this car issue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was kind of the broadcast yesterday was a little disjointed for me because there was an important phone call that came in, so I had to put it on mute, and that phone call lasted probably 20 minutes, and then somebody kind of said, "Hey, you probably shouldn't do that," and I'm like, I wouldn't have taken the call if it wasn't important. But
right. They just have to have some grace and understand that,
Yeah, I mean.
Now, this tech business of yours, is it something you do personally, or is it out through a company, or what?
What are you talking about? This?
Your day job.
My day job. I've been self-employed since I was 18. I repair computers. I do web design. I've had clients in South Korea, in Ecuador. I have clients in Ecuador. I have some big web clients that I do, and small. I've just been doing. Do what?
come at inopportune times, and you know.
Well, and that one was more of a personal call. That was from a friend, and I just needed to take it. But you know, it is what it is. But I'm just, you know, we had a little broadcast for the UK people yesterday, and it was nice. It was a little disjointed as well, but you know, I'll keep doing these. You know, people can complain that I ask for money. I'm just trying to do what's best and keep doing this to help the ones. I spent 9 months helping people in here, and you know, I know somebody complained about, you know, is this, let's see, they talked about this site being a, you know, is this a for-profit, you know, site? And I knew what they were getting at. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see.
Yeah, they said something about it looked like it was trying to be monetized, but you know, to each his own. But I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're doing, putting out the tip jar, coming up with some merchandise and stuff. I think that's all great.
Yeah, yeah, and I basically just, you know, explain, hey, look, enjoy it for free if you like. You don't have to pay, so it's not like I'm making you pay. But
Right.
if you feel like it, if you feel like buying a shirt, fine. It's not like I'm going to get rich on these shirts. The cost to put them out is it's expensive, and I in order to get the price down. So basically, like right now, if I wanted to take and make that shirt, and then I just wanted to order one shirt to get a size 3X or a size 3X, so that it's more material, it's $27 for a shirt. So if I wanted to order the shirt, but if I order 100 of them, I can get the price down, and then I just charge a lesser fee for all the shirts. Not worry about extra large or large. Just order a batch, and yes, then I'll make a little bit of money. But out of 100 shirts, I might make $500, $600. Well, let's just see. Mailing out 100 shirts. I wonder how long that'll take. You know, so it's not a get rich quick scheme. And then somebody else said something to the effect of, well, why didn't you approach line 6? And I thought to myself, well, actually, if you'd actually read my post or listened to my video, you would have known I have approached them. And right now it's not a fit, but we are talking. Who knows what can happen? Hey, Whip, how's it going? Welcome, Whip. How you doing, Whip? Glad to have you.
All right.
I'm glad you were able to join. We're a small ragtag crew today, but it's turned out really nice.
Good.
So.
Well, I've run a game server. I know how much time one of these takes, and it's a significant amount of time and effort to do a labor of love and sort of speak to something like this.
I got my backpack today. Yeah, no, there's a significant amount of time, and if, you know, I figured it out. If because I put the goal at $30,000 for the GoFundMe campaign, right? At $30,000, it would be if all the members donated $20, I would reach my goal. But if you took the hours of what I have put in, and by the time I would reach my goal, it becomes, say if I actually reach the goal, just say it's not going to happen. I just put a goal out there. I don't really care. But if I was to reach that goal, and then calculate the hours in, it would be about $10 an hour. So it isn't about getting wealthy. It isn't about. In fact, the fact of the matter is, I'm 9 months into it, and this is the first time today that I've monetized anything. I had one campaign earlier on that somebody opened for me because there was a couple of haters that were hating on me, and somebody started a campaign that said stick it to the haters who hate on chat or something campaign. Anyway, I can't remember what it was. And you know what that campaign netted? It was about $300, and then you take the fees that GoFundMe takes out of it, and you know that was a nice little. It was nice, and it was nice to have people just do that for me. But I thought, well, you know, I work really hard. I run my own business, but you know, I spend a lot of time helping in here, and I know there's a lot of other people that help in here, and frankly, if I had to help all 1,500 people, I couldn't even do that. There's no way that I could single-handedly help that many people. There's not enough time in the day.
There's not enough for you to go around.
No. So I'm glad everybody's here, and if people want to give me a tip for my hard work, cool. If not, cool. I don't care. It's not a big deal. I just don't. I meet some really cool people on here. Nice people like
me.
Yes. Well, like everybody here, but also like if you've ever got to talk with Henry Switzer. He's a nice guy. Just really nice people. And Whip, I'm glad you're here. Is that your wife in the background, or?
Oh, it's my daughter.
What's your daughter? I'm looking at the little tiny window. Well,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
Hey. What's your name?
Lori.
Lori, glad to meet you, Lori.
Hello, Lori.
I'm Chad. I'm the moderator of the group.
He's the trouble instigator of the group.
Yeah, I make all kinds of trouble for everybody. But well, we're glad everybody could be here today, and it's a fun group. And Ben with his guitar faces. So let's talk about guitar faces. Who all here? My guitar face is horrible. It looks like I've had a lobotomy. and let me see if I can institute it. Hang on. This is Chad doing his guitar face. There you go. That's it. That's my guitar face. And then the drool comes out because I'm so into it. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Have
really expressive.
Ben's guitar faces are awesome. He really digs his music. It's awesome. It's awesome to watch him. He gets into it.
I get into it with not so much with my face, but my movements. Not as much as that one guy that was doing this almost headbanger stuff, but
that Ben?
I move with emphasis of the beat and stuff when I play, but I don't really get a big. Now, if you want to see somebody that's got an awesome playing face, watch Phil Kagi. He gets into it, man. He gets some expressions.
Well, I've watched a lot of people live, and there's some people when they play and say, "Send me a message. I may have to hook up for you on some shirts that might help the price." Yeah, I will, Chris. That's awesome.
Look, grumpy cat.
I was laughing at that too.
So
Well, smile, Chris.
So there's some people that I go out and see, and what they do when they're playing, they're like in the solo, and they're like, they're making the sounds. They're actually singing along to their solo. So they're actually, when they do a band, they're like, So anyway, it's all just because they're in the music, and I find my guitar face is just horrible. I don't know. But you know what? We're all our biggest critics, right?
Oh, yeah. Gotta just put it out there, put it out into the world, and let it be what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And I'm learning to do that. I had one video. I have one video where I actually I'm a big guy, and so when I do some of my videos, I put a lot of video effects to how to kind of hide myself. Yeah, if we go to let's see, I think I got a YouTube. Let's see, I'll see if let's try this. Let's see if everybody can hear this. So I gotta say, okay, can everybody see the YouTube? Can we all see it?
Where? Oh, I saw it. It
Yeah,
disappeared.
click on the YouTube. There's on the left-hand side. Click on the YouTube. I'm gonna try and play something really quick. Let's see. I'll see if I can find that. Let's see. Forget how to do it. Hang on. I'll see if I can find that link. Hang on.
What? Honey?
I hear a baby.
Yeah, my granddaughter.
My kids. My youngest is 13, and I'm not resetting that clock for nothing. I love my kids. I got 4 kids, but one's 28. I have a 22-year-old son. I have a 16, soon-to-be 17-year-old daughter, and a 13-year-old son, and I got 2 grandbabies. I'm an old man, I think. Let's see, video. The gray hair. Now, Ben, you got a little gray hair going. How old are you, Ben?
We're not hearing you, Ben.
Sorry. Yeah. I mute my microphone when I'm not talking, but I have like 3 places I gotta check, make sure it's unmuted. Yeah, I got a son who's in high school. I'm definitely getting up there. I definitely got the gray going, but I started going gray in my early 20s, so that's just one of those things that happens. But it never bothered me until I got old enough to actually have gray hair.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
I've been gray since I turned 40. I'm 48.
All these young people. You're making me feel real old.
Here we go. Click on Add Videos. Hang on. Add videos to playlist. Here we go. Paste. Hang on. Can everybody hear it? Oops.
Oop.
Hang on.
It sounded like a banjo.
Shouldn't have sounded like a banjo. Hold on. There we go. I'm gonna mute you, Brad. So this is a Pod HD 500, and then this is me hiding myself, and you'll see in a second my guitar face is coming in. Here we go.
Mine must have blocked it. I'm not seeing you.
What?
Mine must have blocked it because I'm not seeing you.
Oh, you have to hit the YouTube button on the left-hand side, but got nothing, huh? Yeah, okay. But you could hear. Could you guys hear it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, at any rate, yeah. During later on, that was one that just the music kind of took over, and I don't know. I started bouncing my head and then pulling a bend. I'm going to call it a bend from now on. But at any rate, yeah. So, how do I get out of the YouTube? There we go. Okay, back to us. There we are. So, huh?
Get out of it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just hit the YouTube button again.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. At any rate, yeah. So, I don't know. It's fun. Guitar faces and all. So what is everybody doing today besides listen to this old guy talk? Where are you, Whip?
Well,
Where are you?
good. Today I bit the bullet on an L2T.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you order it?
I've been reading a little bit. Pardon
me? Did you order it? Where'd you get it from?
Yeah, I ordered it from Long McQuaid in Toronto.
Oh, okay. Where are you located?
Ontario, Canada.
Okay, yeah. That's a Canadian outfit. Now, what made you choose it? I'm not saying it's a bad choice. It's a good choice. It's excellent. What was your deciding factor?
Biggie is I want to go straight to the front of the house, and I've been reading that it's probably the best way to get there in terms of trying to dial your sound in before you get there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, dialing your sound in is really important to do, and at the level at which you're going to play, and with the type of speakers that you're going to play at, and that way your sound will transfer. You'll know it'll be right.
Mm-hmm. I was more concerned about actually the sound at the board.
Right.
The next trick for me is going to be trying to figure out how to hook it up, like whether I should go out of the Helix straight to the board, or whether I should go Helix to the L2T, and then there's a line out from the L2T out that can go to the board too. I don't know if that's a wise move to go that way.
It's kind of your choice, but what I would do is if stereo is not important, you could go XLR to the L2T, and then XLR out of the Helix to the front of the house. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're still using two cables. You still have to use two cables, so you might as well just go. And the sound you're getting from one, and so if you were to go into the L2T, and I'm not saying that it would necessarily color the sound going out again, but it could. I don't know. It may not. I don't know enough about the L2T to know if it could. But it seems like to me, if you got two ports, I would just go line 6 Helix out to the L2T and for your monitor, and line 6 out.
The other side out to the house.
Yeah, he leaks out to the front of the house, and you're set. Boom, two cables still. That's
That
just,
way you're guaranteed you're having the same sound going to both places without it.
yeah. It would take the gremlins. If there's any issues, it's one step to remove any gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Now, when I use 2XLR like that, I'm going to show my naive sort of view of this, but are you not running stereo when you do it like that?
No, you're not running stereo. Stereo requires 2 outs. So like when I go to my Firehawk, in order to get stereo, I need to go 2 out of left and right into the 2 inputs on the back.
Right. Well, what I'm trying to get at is I'm wondering if it's going stereo out of the Helix.
No, you have to send. You have to send 2 XLR signals to the front of house.
Right.
Left and right.
You have to, right. What I'm trying to get at is if I sent, say, like on the back of the Helix, it says one is like left is mono, right?
Yes.
And then the right is the other side of stereo, I believe.
No.
Right?
They're both mono.
They're both mono?
Yeah. Stereo requires 2 channels.
So if they're both mono.
Yeah, stereo requires 2 channels, so you have to go left and right. So you would require 2. Yeah.
Because
right. So, but if
single
signal, for example,
back to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Whip, go ahead.
Oh, the only thing I was thinking is that if I was going to run, say, both XLR to the front of the house and I wanted to run stereo, that's how I would do it, right? Use both XLR?
Yes. Yeah.
And then pan one to your right channel and one to the left, and now you have.
So here's the thing: if you want, if the house is stereo, and that's a big if, because like I have a big power amp. It's back here. It's underneath. Let's see, underneath, back behind there. It is a QSC power amp that I've got, and it has the capability of stereo, but you actually have to set the dip switches to stereo. And a lot of PAs at front of house, they may not be stereo anyway. So, so sending stereo. So you would have to make sure that the place that you're playing at, that their amp, you have to make sure that they're actually in stereo. Otherwise, it's pointless anyway.
Oh, right. No, I realize that. Like the thing I'm more concerned about is what's coming out of the Helix.
Right.
Right.
So here's the thing. If the front of house you're going to is stereo, you would take XLR left and XLR right, and you go to front of house. But then now you need to power your monitor. So your monitor, you could go out of left or right, but probably left of the 1/4 inch and go into a 1/4 inch because they're combi. The L2T has combi jacks, which means you can either do XLR or 1/4 inch. So two out of the Helix goes left, right, and then your monitor can be out of left 1/4 inch. And frankly, there's so many other ways you can route it, but that would be the easiest way. But you can do sends, and it's just mind-boggling the amount of flexibility that the Helix has.
Well, I know the board's going to be single. It's not going to be stereo. So,
okay. So you really don't. Okay. Yeah, so what I would do is do XLR to your L2T for monitoring, and just one out to the house. And actually in that way you sort of would be stereo anyway. Your sound on your monitor versus the sound out there, that actually would be stereo.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is that if I made sort of patches that were stereo in the first place, it would kind of split in the second
part.
Right.
So if you put the monitor behind you, and you could hear the sounds coming from front of house too, even the audience is going to get a little stereo. So especially if you're in the middle, you're going to hear the stereo effects anyway. because you're taking one left to your monitor, and then front of house is getting the right-hand signal. So you are still going to get stereo in the room, just not out of the front of house.
Right. I'm concerned about trying to have exactly the same signal in my L2T as the front of the house, right?
Um,
If I'm running 2XLR, I'm going to get split. I'm going to be splitting stereo, right?
Right. Your front of house and your L2T are gonna be split stereo. So you'll have left is going to be coming out of your L2T, say, and right is going to come out of the front of house.
Now, Chad, wouldn't you have to have your effects pass set up as a stereo? Helix is splitting them into stereo.
Well,
and not just mono.
No, you'd have to use stereo effects, and there was an interesting article on the Line 6 forums about how to get the stereo effect. But those four paths, the four paths that you can have with the Helix, the path 1 and path 2 and the path 1A and path 2A or 2B or whatever they say, those four paths, those are a stereo path. So there's actually a left and a right, a left and a right, left and right, left and right. So
right.
Yeah, so the paths themselves are sending signals left and right, but if you put a mono patch, if you put a mono effect after stereo effects, it will sum to mono and you're going to get the same signal anyway. So you just have to be, I use, before the amps, it's how I sort of route mine. Before the amps come in, I use mono effects. I don't see any sense in using a stereo, I don't, for DSP sake, I wouldn't use a stereo gain pedal. And then after, when I'm doing the effects, now there's something interesting to note. If you use a dual cab, that's stereo. So you can put a stereo effect before the cab, and then you go out. If you use a stereo effect before the cab and you're using a dual effect, it will be in stereo. But if you use a stereo effect and use a single cab, that stereo effect will hit that cab and will sum to mono. But if you use a stereo effect after the cab, whether the cab is stereo or not, you're still going to get stereo effects. Does that make sense?
Basically, put your stereo effects as far down in the chain as possible near the output, because otherwise you might sum them back down to a mono signal.
Yes.
Not realizing it, and then you'll be kicking yourself in the head wondering, why is this not pinging from one channel to the other?
Exactly. Yeah. And so pretty much after the amp, I try and use stereo effects, and I really love the dual amps. The dual amps, those are stereo amps, and have you been programming much with yours, Whip?
Not a whole lot, but some.
Let me illustrate. Let me pull up and put on the screen here. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see what we got going here?
Yep.
Okay. So let me just start with a fresh patch. There's nothing here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add an amp. Let's just call it a guitar amp, and we're going to go one of my favorite ones.
I love it.
We're going to go the matchless. Okay. Then I'm going to come in here down the line, and I'm going to add a cab. Now you can see you got the dual cabs and the single cabs. Well, if I added a single cab, that cab will be a not stereo cab. Okay. But if I add the dual cab, and say we'll go and we'll add a 412. All right. Now you can see this cab right here is a greenback 412-25. But if I go to this cab, it's a 112. So left and right, one cab is going to be a 212, and the other one's going to be a 412. Okay. So now if I go in between, and I was to add a stereo delay, like let's just say dual delay right here. So it's gonna be mono, 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 stereo. Now we've got a dual cab. This dual cab is stereo, right? And anything that goes out is going to be stereo. Now, if, for instance, I go and I say, you know what, I'm not going to do a dual cab, I'm going to do a single. What happens here is now we're going to go mono, 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 stereo, up, back down to mono, and anything comes out now will be mono. But if I take and move this over here, right, now we go mono, 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 stereo. Now anything that comes out will be in stereo. So that's the thing is you just have to go down the path until you get to. Now what's interesting, if I go like this and drag this down here, so guess what? Now what do we have? We have mono, 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 stereo. I believe we would have stereo because what's happening is we're hitting mono and we're hitting this and we're coming back out. And look what we're getting. But this wouldn't sound good because now it may sound different. Let's see. Man, we're not getting any tones. Anyway, so basically, you just have to control how you're sending your signal, and the less mono, the less stereo stuff you use, the more DSP you'll have. So, but yeah, that's my little primer on stereo versus.
If we follow your diagram there, Chad, if it's in stereo and you've got effect going to one side and the other side, and now I'm using the XLR out, I'm going to have two different, so to say, delays, front of the house and in my bin. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the thing I was thinking about, is that if I use two XLR, I'm going to have, I may be in a situation sometimes where the sound's going to get a little wonky at the front of the house because I'm only getting one side of stereo, right?
No.
Depending on what patch I've got.
You're getting stereo is coming out of one speaker and the other speaker, so it's not going to get wonky. They're only going to get, the front of house is only going to get one side. Ever.
Right.
And your monitor will get the other side. So it really won't get wonky. You might hear a little wonky because you're going to hear left, right. You're going to hear it, but but in that case, you can just sum it to mono anyway and send one signal out.
Yeah. Chad, what I think you will hear is, in actuality, what the audience might hear. It depends on how long the delay is for, but it may, that one side that's going to the house may be delayed enough that it might end up being, if it's a long delay, far behind the actual beat of the note.
You're very true. Very true.
So you'd have to watch that running stereo.
That's right.
I would recommend if just running mono to the house.
I agree. I'm just giving him all the options so that he understands what's happening.
But it might sound really funny to the audience and might sound really off if the delay's very long, because it would hit that.
What do you think about running? What do you think about running XLR in the front of the house and then run the quarter to the L2T?
Yeah, left.
It's still
left
on mono, right?
Yeah, I would do left, and then you're getting the same sound out of both. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. You understand? I think you get it. Plus, you could try anything before the show, and you could go, well, that's not going to work. So that's, I get there early enough to test it. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, as usual with this kind of stuff, I'm the new kid in the block running a Helix, and I don't want to really walk into a gig, plop it down, go front of the house, and then have it go south.
No. Yeah.
I like to try and get it as smooth as I can. Like.
I totally agree. So what I would do is I would do XLR to front of house left, and quarter-inch to your L2T left, and you're going to get the same sound out of each of them. Yeah.
Perfect. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Hey, Gary.
As much setup on your live stuff, your performance stuff as you possibly can before you play, before the actual show starts, because that way you'll feel confident in the sound you're going to get and not be having to mess with the Helix while you're trying to concentrate on playing.
Yeah, get there early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can with the system.
Yeah, the enforcement part
impossible.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. But the gig I'm playing is there's a lot of guys playing. There's like just in the one segment I'm in, I think there's 22 guys at different points, like 2 different sets. So start on again, off again, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try and get as much seat time as I can, before the gig. But I'm not going to get that much, I don't think.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to be very safe if you use the L2T. You get your tones correctly with the L2T out of the left side of the quarter-inch, right? And then all you're doing is going, okay, the same signal is going front of house, and then the only thing I would suggest is with the editor, and let me put it on screen. This is what I would do is use your best judgment to have a fail-safe, and let me tell you what I mean. Okay, so you set up your L2T running out of the quarter, and you get it set exactly the way you want it, right? But then I would go into the global EQ while you're on your computer, and I would get the EQ set up to where it can take off some of the bass and some of the highs and kind of get it kind of sculpted in a little bit and turn it on and off, right? And you hear your sound through the L2T, and you get your global EQ kind of set where it's kind of a fail-safe. If it's too bright, you kind of can have the global EQ on to kind of tame it down just a little bit and kind of get you more in the mix. And then when you get to the show, you can turn your global EQ, like if you find that, it's too brittle, then you can, without thinking about it, you can just reach down and you can double-click the, hold on, I can't see. Got my glasses on. You double-click on the, I can't read it. There's a button up. At any rate, there's a button on the Helix. You can double-click on it and turn on your global EQ, and then when you're on XLR, you can hear the front of the house and go, okay, you know what, that sounds okay, and that will give you. You're already set up. It gives you basically 30 seconds to dial it in. You can go, wait a minute, it's too bright. I can turn on my global EQ. If your global EQ is set in advance to where you go, I can take some of the highs and I still like this tone through my quarter-inch, that'll give you kind of a fail-safe, at least a place to go if it's too brittle, too bright. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so there's a little fail-safe thing, because I didn't like the global EQ without the editor, but with this graphical way to control it, it makes it so much easier than having to go, okay, Q, mid-frequency, what is going on? It's 136 hertz, well, with the graphical piece to it, it's like, just move these. Okay. I don't care what the numbers say. I like the way this sounds. It's easy. I move 4 things, and it does all the voodoo down below. It's much easier to it's much easier to set up. So,
Makes sense.
Good. So we got Gary on. We got Ben on. We got Mike on. Hey, Mike. You just couldn't do without us tonight, huh?
I do have one question though.
Okay.
2 questions. First, the global EQ, is that a thing I could see on the screen of the editor?
You can see it, but on the editor, yes, yeah. So you
But
want
not
me
on
to,
the unit.
no, it won't show it, on the unit itself. It just gives you the low Q and the numbers,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But I love the graphical EQ on the editor.
I know, it's awesome.
That's why I'm telling him in advance. Set it up in advance to where he has a fail-safe that he can just go double-click. Okay, yeah, that's good.
The other question I have is, when we were talking about the E-flat tuning earlier tonight,
yes.
you and me, I know I can go in and copy a whole preset and paste it to another one, but can I copy one effect block to another one and just paste that one in, or will I be able to do that another time?
No, you can paste. You can take a copy and effect and actually go to another preset, and you can paste it in that preset.
Okay.
So
but I'll have to move everything up one to do that.
What do you mean?
Like if the volume is the first block, but I want like another effect to be the first block, I have to do something with the volume and everything that comes to the right of that. So I have to.
No, you can actually pick up the with the action button. You go onto the effect that you want on the Helix itself, like not with the editor. You can hit the action button. You'll see it kind of lift, and then you can you can just move it, and it'll offset things for you.
Where's the action button?
It says action.
Oh. Okay.
Right on the Helix. There's a button that says action. It's
okay, yeah.
Near the joystick.
Yeah, near the joystick.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
And so that way you can pick up the effect, and you can actually move it down the line and
it'll
set
push
it
everything down.
Yeah, and it'll move everything out of the way.
See, I'm just one more thing just to solidify how awesome this thing is.
Okay, and now something to note about it's kind of an important feature. Everybody talks about the E flat and go using the E flat scenario on the Helix, and it works surprisingly well. It's not polyphonic. However, a couple things. If you hear a warbling, if you hear that, sometimes you get a warbling. It could be one thing. You may be actually hearing your physical strings, and they're going to be off to the tune you're at. So you can ignore most of that. Another thing is power chords. Don't warble. But the higher you get,
sevenths and ninths do.
Yeah.
I tried that today. Yeah.
Right. But power chords don't. So if you've got a power chord song, it's perfect for that because
I think it gets up to four notes and then it starts to warble.
Right. And if you get up higher, you're going to get more warble. Even on a single note, you can get warble.
Yep.
But in a hey, throw yourself on a Joan Jett song, right? I love rock and roll, and you want it to be in an E flat.
Yeah.
It'll work perfect. And it seems like if you got a great distortion tone, that E flat it just
covers it up. Yeah.
With the power chords. But I do hope that line 6 will come with a polyphonic. But I actually think the way around it is to get a Variax, or you can get the Electro-Harmonix Pitchfork.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Electro-Harmonix Pitchfork is really good.
Does it track well?
Yeah.
Well, I would love to get a Variax.
I have no more money to spend.
I know.
Cut me off. The boss said no more.
It's the next on my list. I had to sell my Variax to get the Helix, and I had a beautiful 59. Let's see if I can find a picture. I'll show you. I loved it. It was gorgeous. But
hey guys,
let me ask you a question about the Variax. Can you get one that the neck isn't so big?
Yeah, hold on a second. Somebody.
I'm sorry.
Somebody said, "Hey guys." Who said that?
It's me.
Oh, it's you?
What?
Oh, okay.
how would you if you paid for a Variax? I paid for a JTV 89FBR in February, and I was told it was going to be delivered at the beginning of April, and then they fudged that to the middle of April, and then I got to the middle of April, and they said, "Oh, by the way, no, not until maybe the end of May." And so they've had my coin now for what, a little over 2 months.
Where'd you get it from?
My coin for 6 weeks.
Where'd you get it from?
Yeah, who'd you buy it from?
Long and McQuaid in Toronto.
Call Sweetwater Sound in Illinois. They'll get it to you in 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that really burns me is that I've talked to different people. Like today, I was talking to a guy from England, and they've got everything you can think of there, and he would love to be able to sell them, but he's having a hard time. Well, I don't know if he's having a hard time selling them, but he's not selling them. And here I am in Canada. My order for that guitar, I'm number 4 for that guitar, and all of us have paid. What do you show?
That's something to do with your supplier, though. I mean, they're not in short supply.
Yeah.
They have them in stock at Line 6, so.
Yeah, I would complain. I would complain pretty high up. I mean, it's a long McQuaid issue.
So you complain too. I love to complain.
Well, I mean, I would get a hold of Long and McQuaid's customer service, and then ask to talk to the manager. Say you're a good customer and you bought this and this and this from him. Where is your Variax?
Does Sweetwater ship to Canada?
I don't think so.
Anybody know? That could be part of the problem too. It's Canada. They might be like one of the few suppliers up there. How far are you from the border? Drive to America.
There you go.
Yeah. Whip. How far away are you from? And do you have a passport?
Yeah, I've got a passport.
So
no. Again, part of the problem is that Long and McQuaid is owned by a thing called Yorkville Sound.
Okay.
Yorkville Sound is the only distributor, as far as I know, of Line 6 in Canada.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
They
it's
own
international.
Well, in our group is several Line 6 people. You might have a little bit of sway if you wrote a really nice note to like Frank or Eric or somebody there. Maybe they have a little pull. I don't know.
See if they can get another distributor up there.
Yeah. Whoa. You know, our beautiful day has just turned into lightning.
Oh, really?
Let's see. Hey, there we go. Look at that weather. Hey, Brad. Welcome back.
So unplug the Helix, man.
So does anybody think it's bad that I leave my Helix on all the time?
That's like a computer, right?
Yeah, I leave everything on all the time.
I don't know how much burn-in it would get, you know?
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Yeah, that would be my concern, would be the screen.
Hey,
like,
Ben.
The electronics itself would probably be okay, but the LEDs and the LCDs, especially your scribble strips, too.
Yeah, I should probably turn it off, but that requires bending.
Put it on put it on a power strip that you set on the desk, and you can hit the power strip button.
Yeah. Problem solver.
I'm full of that today. I was kind of not as nice as I would normally like to be to somebody earlier.
Oh, what happened?
With the guy he's asking about, can you get an acoustic sound from an electric guitar? I was just kind of like, well, you know, you're limited because it's an electric guitar. You're not going to sound like a Taylor or a Martin coming from electric.
I made a patch with one of the Taylor IRs that sounded okay close.
Well, yeah, you can get okay, but you get passable, but you're not going to get an acoustic guitar without an acoustic guitar.
Right. Yeah. Or have some sort of piezo electric. Yeah.
Not to sound weird, but we have a saying in the States when you can't do something from something else. It's called you can't polish a turd.
Yeah. There's that. You can polish it, but it's still shit underneath it. Oh,
I know. That's true. So tell me about these Variax things. See, now you can pique my interest.
What do you want to know?
I don't know.
I'm playing one right now.
I know. A friend of mine.
It's like playing a Strat.
Well, a friend of mine's got one, and I didn't like the neck, but tell me more about these things. He doesn't know much about it.
Okay, so my 59, I had a 59.
Yeah, like a Les Paul.
Yeah, and my 59, it had my favorite neck profile, which is.
Is that a James Tyler version of it?
Yeah, mine was a JTV 59, and I loved it, and it had a baseball bat neck like I like.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would like the one that he's playing.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I got small fingers, so I mean I can play it very comfortably. My fingers aren't very long.
Now, is that a flat, or is that more like a Strat profile?
Is it a C or D size neck?
I'm not really sure. It's the 69.
Oh, okay.
Is that 69 kind of got like a flat like the 89? Like, I don't like shredder guitars.
No, it basically feels like a Strat. I can pull my regular Fender out if you want to compare.
Yeah.
Carvin has a very tiny neck on it.
Yeah, Carvin's are
because I have a very small hand, and I just can't play a big, thick neck.
Ben, what were you showing us? Oh, what's that? Is that a transplant? I can't hear you.
Hey, Whip.
Yep.
Pardon my weirdness, but I always want to say, nay.
Ben.
You know that song that? Never mind.
This is just the original Variax.
I'm being weird, Whip. Don't mind me. I just took my pills.
Oh, so that's is that the 600 or?
This is I don't even know if I remember anymore whether this is a 600 or the 500.
That's an older one.
That's just the original Variax.
Yeah. See, I had one like that decades ago, whenever they came out, but I don't know what they're like now.
How does it sound in comparison to the newer stuff?
I have never played one of the newer ones. I don't know if they ever actually redid the modeling algorithms. I have the understanding that the new Variax is the same guts as the old Variax.
Mm.
I think there is a difference between the 600s and the JTV, but I don't know. Gary, so go ahead and show us the neck profiles there.
Okay. It's just part of my duties as sergeant. We've been running up overtime. I think we can work more efficiently.
All right, so I don't know how well you can see, but this is the regular Strat right here, the American Standard. This is the JTV 69. So,
yeah, the Strat's a little bit better.
They're about the same. It's actually probably a little thinner down here, but it's when you start getting down here, it's a little bit thicker. This is the Strat. This is the 69.
Is the neck pocket on the 69 compatible with the Fender bolt-on pattern?
It looks pretty close. You might be able to just stick a regular Strat neck on it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can.
Over 48 hours at local precinct.
I mean, like for me, the hand, it's maybe a little thicker, but it doesn't feel like very much thicker. So, and like I said, I got small fingers, so this is still comfortable for me to play on. So, I mean, if that's a concern, but if you can find a store that actually has one, go and try them out because everyone is going to be different. I played like 4 or 5 of them before I settled on this one.
Yes, we're divorced.
Now, I'm actually not a fan of the. I'm actually not a fan of the new the Pacifica, the Yamaha Pacifica Nex, the standard. What does everybody think about the Nex on it? I don't like the headstock of that.
I haven't seen one. Nobody around here carries them.
It's just it comes down instead of like the way the JTV looks. I actually like the JTVs, but it kind of comes down and kind of goes like this. It's just really generic. It just comes up and there's really no form. Let's see if I can find a picture.
Is it the traditional Yamaha headstock look?
Yeah, I think so. The Pacifica.
Yeah, I had one of those. I sold mine. I didn't realize that I had background noise in here, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. No worries. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Standard.
Is that Steely Dan you're playing, Raspberry?
Nah, I'm just doodling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can hear it. I didn't know. I'm not plugged into anything, so. That's just the strings.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can share the headstock of the.
Everybody, grab your guitars.
Right?
Let's see. All right.
It's a free for all.
All right. Here we go. Here's the headstock on the.
Yeah, that looks like a Yamaha Pacifica. Even the string trees a little bit.
Yeah.
And the truss rod thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't know. It's okay. It's just not my thing. I like the JTV. Hold on. Let's see.
That's a nice carbon, Brad. Is that a DC-10?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a good one.
Is that a DC-10?
This is the DC 400 TA.
Oh, wow.
And it plays sweet. This is
beautiful.
I've had this guitar since 19 years.
Wow.
And
you know what? Now that I'm playing them both, it is a little thicker.
Whip, what kind of guitar do you play, Whip?
But somebody say something to me?
Yeah. What kind of guitar do you play?
I've got a few.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I don't have
right now I'm playing a Godin.
Oh, okay. Which one? I had an XTSA one.
That's what I've got, an XT.
Yeah.
I also have the nylon one too.
Oh, really? The XTSA ones, to me, they play like a Taylor. They got that Taylor kind of neck to them.
I like them too. I also have a Lato rocker. I have a handmade. When VC Rich made handmade guitars.
Wow.
I have a VC Rich. I have a VC Rich that's got to be. I'm going to say 30 years old, something like that.
At least.
I have.
Is it a Mockingbird?
When I was. I got it in '68.
Wow.
So
that's almost 50
I
years
still
old.
have it. I'm one of those guys that doesn't sell anything. I think I've got just everything I ever bought.
Wow. I'm glad I don't, because I'd have over 100 guitars.
Oh, I wish I could afford that many, but I can only play one at a time, so I don't really need that many.
Yep.
I've had Les Pauls, and I had a Gibson ES335 TD, which had a tiny little neck on it.
I had a Gibson Explorer once, but I got rid of it because I would knock into stuff with the fin at the back, and the headstock was too big. So.
Oh yeah. That TD was a really nice guitar. The Les Paul. I wish I still had the Les Paul. It was beautiful. That no telling what it'd be worth now.
I actually traded a Les Paul in. That's probably one of the only guitars I ever got rid of.
Wow.
I traded a Les Paul and I got my SG when I got it.
Yeah. I found that I liked the Strat body style is the most comfortable for me. I'm not a big person. I'm only 5'1", and my hands are small. So I found that the Stratocaster body style, it works perfect for me.
Cool.
And I've had Greshes. Greshes have big bodies. I had a Gresh Super Axe. It's an awesome guitar.
Me and Chad had big bodies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have big bodies.
I'm not crazy, Ben. My mom had me tested, I promise.
But you can be crazy, just don't be afraid to use it.
Oh, believe me. I don't get out much. Like I told Chad last week, this is my weekly social interaction with people.
What did you say? They don't let you out much?
No. I gotta be back by 9:30. Oh, I got 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoy these little fireside chats.
Yeah.
This is fun stuff. And I hope hopefully we're bringing people some education, and the rebroadcasts are always there. It's been good to meet a lot of people, and I had forgotten and found this out in this broadcast that Ben, I can almost throw a rock at Ben. Well, not quite that easy, but unless I'm superhero or something. But he lives within what I say maybe 80 miles or less.
Yeah, it's less than 3 hours for sure.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So we'll have to get together, have coffee and guitar talk.
That sounds
Hey,
fun.
Chad, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So while this is going on, is it being live streamed to YouTube as well, or is it only going up after the chat?
It's actually live. If you have the link to watch it live, it's live right now. And then when I end it,
It'll upload the video.
Yeah, and when I end it, it uploads the video. Then I share the video. Sometimes what's interesting is sometimes after I end it, I went back in and looked at the video, and it was like missing, even though the video's time was the correct.
Yeah, it's not synced up right.
Yeah, and so then I have to download the file and then re-upload the file, and then it's all there. But yeah, it should be available pretty much afterwards. I think if it goes for 3 hours, it has trouble. But anything like 2.5, it's fine. But
yeah, it has to process too. Like you have to wait a little bit after you're done for it to
right.
process.
Exactly.
Because I did a couple of live acoustic broadcasts over the weekend, just some friends of mine. So I didn't know if this was going out live as well.
Yeah,
because I could watch it from there. Like, because I take the bus home. That's why it's so noisy. That's why when I first get on, I don't want to talk because it's so noisy. But I could watch it from YouTube and still kind of.
Oh, that's wild.
What's going on? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's live. If you go to the other link, it's live, or the join link, or you should be able to watch it either way. But,
yeah. Do you put the YouTube link in? Because I didn't really see it. I mean, I was putting the YouTube link in, but everybody got confused, and so now I only put the join link. Because I was getting requests like, "Hey, let me in. Why won't it let me in?" Yeah.
I got the YouTube link yesterday.
What?
I got the YouTube link. I was watching it over last few days.
Yeah, and
well,
I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
You're talking about
it's just your channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my channel.
So if I just subscribe to your channel, it should just be there when we do them. I can just go straight to it.
Right.
So what kind of music is everybody into on here?
Blues rock.
Well, I listen to everything.
I listen to everything, but I'm not good enough to play everything.
I like rock, fusion, and like smooth jazz. I enjoyed that a lot.
Like Larry Carlton and Lee Ritenour, kind of smooth jazz.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. I grew up on Boston.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why. Maybe it's my last name.
It's really good.
Have you guys ever heard of this guy named Phil Keggy?
Oh yeah.
I have.
Yeah, he's
I've met him and seen him twice.
Yeah, he taught me how to play one of his tunes years ago.
Wow, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You won't find a finer guitar player anymore.
Oh, the guy's amazing.
It's scary good.
He's one of the most underrated guitar players around. Not too many people know about him, but
Most people never heard of him. But
and it's funny when you read magazine articles about looping, they never include his name.
Yeah, I love Phil Keaggy. I've been listening to Phil Keaggy for 30 years.
Yeah, me too.
Back from the late 70s.
Yep.
When his
first album, Love Broke Through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got all there.
Yeah. He's got about 50 some albums. I think I have 49 of them.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna tell you who's a good guitarist, and most people would write him off because he's a pop star. But you know who's a really good guitarist? John Mayer.
Oh gosh,
I love
amazing.
Good player.
But you know why I don't listen to him? Because the guy's arrogant. He's very arrogant.
But I mean, as long as he's not talking and he's just playing guitar.
Oh, he's amazing. Have you seen the DVD with the 3 bands on
guys
one?
From?
Oh,
the John Mayer trio.
Yeah, him and Pino Palladino. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so now I don't want to be negative, but it does seem to me that when I watch Steve Vai, he does appear to be a little bit arrogant.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
You think?
What's the guy from Mr. Big? I forget what his name is.
Paul Gilbert.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Now, female guitarist. Who's
Anna
chick from Heart.
Anna Popovich.
Anna? Okay, yeah.
Popovich. She's from Russia?
Who's heard of Joanne Shaw Taylor?
Never heard of her.
Wow. She was found by Annie Lennox.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really good.
Is she as weird as Annie Lennox?
No, but
Okay.
she's got a great voice, and she plays guitar really well. But another one, Samantha Fish.
You guys ever heard of Khaki King?
Oh yeah, she did all the stuff in August Rush.
No.
She's one of those tapper ladies.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's like the
You know who
female
else
Michael
is good?
Hedges.
Oh, what the heck's his name?
Michael Hedges.
No, there's an English guy.
Robert
He's a big tapper guy too. He's got like dreadlocks and stuff. Oh, I gotta remember his name. He did a cover of Massive Attack's Teardrop.
Not Stanley Jordan.
No. Hold on, I'll go.
I do a lot of harmonics and do some tapping leads and stuff too when I play. It depends on what's going on in the song. Sometimes I'll slap just a whole chord to get the
Newton
harmonic.
Faulkner.
Who?
Newton Faulkner.
No.
Hey now. No, just kidding.
Faulkner.
I know.
Hey now, don't think it's.
Check out his version of Teardrop. It's a Massive Attack song. He plays it all acoustic. Oh, it's beautiful. Good stuff.
Okay, so okay. Now that we're just talking about music and stuff.
Back to line 6.
No. I like this.
Back to you, Chad.
So, what's the most eclectic band that you were raised on that people would find like weird?
Kiss.
Good Lord.
Elton John.
Okay.
I just went and saw him about 3 weeks ago. Tell you, he puts on a great show.
Oh, he does. I'm gonna throw out one. The Limelighters.
Never heard of them. How about the Pretty Things?
Huh? No.
Remember them?
No.
Ever heard of Gangrene?
No. What about
They were from Boston.
Green Jelly?
Green Jelly, yeah. Minor Threat?
How about the Hooters?
Or Fugazi?
Yeah, Fugazi. The Hooters are like, I mean, they're still around now. They did that song, All You Zombies. Remember
All
that?
You Zombies, yeah.
Yep.
What was the other one they had too? Something about... Oh. They had another one too.
Yeah.
And she played or something.
They're from Philly. Yeah. And she played, and she danced, and she danced, and she danced. That one. Yeah.
How about Outfield, man?
My wife just looked at me. She broke a window.
Come on. What about the Hansons?
I actually saw them a few years ago. They're doing pretty good, man. That's a good show to go to.
Yeah.
I like their music. So
I know it's time for my meds again. I just took somebody.
Okay,
Take some more, she says.
Okay, so what's the most embarrassing band that you actually like?
Kiss?
That you don't want to
Katy
admit?
Perry.
No.
Katy Perry.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Christina Aguilera.
I actually like Christina. That girl can sing, man.
Yeah, and Britney Spears.
Not so much a fan of her.
No,
She's
I
too
like some of her
processed.
songs.
Elton John.
She is embarrassing.
But she's, the difference between Britney and Christina is Christina can actually sing. Britney's just all vocal processing.
Yeah.
So is Cher.
Well, Cher wasn't always. She kind of, she took that to the next level with the auto tuning.
Yeah, with the Antares unit.
If they don't have real talent, I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, you listen to like Sonny and Cher. That girl could sing.
The beat goes on.
The best vocalist I ever heard was Second Chapter of Act.
You know, they were just on a show the other day. We were watching them, and they had Matthew Ward and what's her name, Annie, and the
Annie
other girl.
Herring,
Yeah,
her sister.
yeah. Randy Stonehill was on there too.
They got the best voices. You just can't beat those three.
Yeah.
They're just unbelievable.
Did you guys know that Brad Delp from Boston did all the background vocals on every Boston, all 8 or 9 layers of them? He did himself.
Really?
Yep. He tracked all the background vocals himself. I read that somewhere. I just thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
He was talented.
Oh, I know.
So, did everybody hear about Guns N' Roses going to be doing their shows together?
Well, when is Axl taking over in AC/DC? When is that supposed to be? The summer?
I don't know. Is he going to do that? I didn't know that.
He's going to do vocals, yeah. They had Angus. They did Coachella this weekend.
I know.
And Angus Young came out with them.
Purple velour suit, whatever color that was.
When did they do? They did Coachella?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did Coachella.
They did whole.
I was busy watching Coachella weird bands.
Oh, did you like the Silver Sun pickups?
I didn't get to them.
I fell asleep watching them. No, I like them. Don't get me wrong, I like them. But
listen.
It was starting to get late.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun to watch, but there's just so much going on that it's hard to keep up. I have other things to do.
Brad,
we have 3 channels going
Ben,
too.
why did your shirt say tweak on it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Ben, why does your shirt say tweak?
Teak. It says Teak. T-E-A-K.
Oh, duh. See,
That's
I
a company of a friend of mine. Some friends of mine. So if you need some viral marketing done, go talk to the Teak guys.
Alright.
I need viral marketing. I don't know. So
Brad, let me ask you a question. Why do you still have that GT10 if you got the Helix?
he hasn't got the Helix yet.
I don't have
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you had it.
it. I wish I did. If everybody donated $1, I could get one.
Hey, do a GoFund or GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Hey, I've heard of that somewhere.
Yeah. It's a good
They
cause.
don't take PayPal, man. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
they
that?
do.
No, they didn't have a button for it. I was going to give Chad money. I had to give it to him direct.
By the way,
Not that I mind.
By the way, thank you everybody who did.
Our pleasure.
I got in trouble by somebody in the forum today that they didn't like that. But
Well, tell them to quit their job then. You know. Seriously. Tell
Well,
them
you
to
know
work
what?
for
The way I
free.
look at it, you have the right to ask because you put a lot of time and effort into this. And if people want to help you out, they'll help you out. If they don't want to help
That's right.
you out, go somewhere
And
else.
they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough courage to go ahead and reply to me when I said, well, just feel free to stay here and enjoy it for free. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not asking them for an admission price.
No.
Right.
Just
some people, you just can't please some people.
No.
You know what it is? It's a human thing.
Yeah.
It's a human thing.
It is.
Listen, we got quite a community here. I believe that's the best forum I've ever been in.
Yep.
And I'm not even being partial.
One I've been in.
Right, and everybody's here to help each other. We do these little chats, and and nobody's being a fanboy when we're like, hey, I like this about the unit. It's just, hey, I like that about the unit. It's okay, and I don't. And none of my opinions, when I give my opinions about something, they're just my opinions, and you can take it or leave it. If you like something different, it's okay. I probably like the same thing different too. Right now, I really like the Helix. I really like the Firehawk, and I don't have a need for anything else. So
I got rid of the Firehawk. I wasn't using it.
Well, I mean the Firehawk 1500.
The amp, yeah.
Oh, there's another Firehawk thing?
Just a floorboard, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the HD 500, but different.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like a cross between the Amplify and the HD 500.
Right.
Not quite either, but it had the same editor as like the what is it, the Amplify. Okay. But it wasn't quite as powerful as the 500. I have the 500X already, so I was like, I thought I would check it out, but it just wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah, as soon as I
traded that in, and they gave me like 15% off on the Helix. I'm like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, are you in Canada?
No, I'm in the U.S. I'm in California.
Oh, okay.
I'm very fortunate. I'm in Costa Mesa. There's a Guitar Center like one exit up the freeway from me. So
well, that's awesome.
Oh no, it's so dangerous for me. My wife had never seen me.
There's a Fry's off the same exit too. So
I've been
electronics store.
Oh no,
Raspberry. That's where Calvary Chapel started. Is Costa Mesa.
Yeah, it's down here. Yeah.
I've been banned.
I'm not a churchy guy. So
yeah.
There's the Trinity Broadcasting is right around the corner from my house too.
Are you anywhere near? Is that near San Diego?
No, that's like about an hour and a half north from San Diego.
Oh, okay.
San Diego's right next to Mexico. I'm like halfway between LA and San Diego.
Yeah, I lived in San Diego for a year.
It's nice down there.
2005. It's expensive.
Oh, it ain't cheap here either.
Yeah, I know.
Orange County, man.
I live in Virginia, and it's fairly inexpensive to live here. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, Guitar Center banned me.
Why?
You weren't playing Stairway to Heaven too much, were you?
No.
Paranoid.
No, what happened? Okay, so what happened is, remember when I got the Helix? I don't know, it goes way back to the 6-month mark. I ended up, I take advantage of their return policy if I don't like something. And so they wanted to charge me a restocking fee for the Helix because basically I had one on order from Zounds. I know it's bad, but I had one on order from Zounds, and I wanted to do the unboxing video, and they had one that happened to be available at the store the very day I was going to do the unboxing. And I didn't know when I was going to get the Zounds order, and I had the money, but I couldn't allocate the money, and I wanted to do the unboxing. Okay, but I knew how hot it would be, and I knew they wouldn't have any problem selling it. And I knew that my order would come in soon enough, so I did the unboxing video. And when I took the unit back on Monday, they were like, well, yeah, but we want to charge you a restocking fee. And I said, well, why? So I argued with them, and they basically
you pulled a Mike Burstein.
They banned me. They said, okay, in the future, everything you buy from us, you'll have to pay a rental fee.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
I would call headquarters. Seriously.
So what ended up happening? What I did is the place that wanted to charge me restocking fee, I went down to the other one and just took it back, and they didn't charge me restocking fee.
I always ask. When I buy something, I always ask first, what's your return policy?
Well, I did. Yeah. The return policy didn't say anything about a restocking fee.
Yeah, but I always verbally ask them. That way I can.
I did.
Oh.
Before I bought it, I asked them what the policy was. Anyway, so I packaged it back up. I took it back, and then I got on the gear page, and I let everybody know it's available at this Guitar Center. It sold the very next day. Didn't cost them anything extra. And anyway, the manager at the other store called me and said, you know, we're just going to charge you. I have already bought stuff from there, and they technically haven't banned me, but I don't know.
You know what I do in situations like that? The 2 music stores that are here in town, I've had some run-ins with the people. I refuse to go and buy anything from them. I'll use Sweetwater instead, even if I have to wait a week. Even if it's picks. I've just had too many problems, and I'm just not going to spend my money at some place where they lie to you and they try to take advantage of you, and they don't care.
Well, you know, I guess maybe it wasn't as kosher as it could be, but I knew at the state of the time that it was going to sell absolutely immediately. So I wasn't harming them in any way. The machine was in perfect condition, and I just thought it's really
trying to get money from you. That's all.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I mean, usually they're pretty with me. They're very cool with me. I mean, I get coupons from them all the time, but even if I don't have a coupon and I go in and say, hey, look, do I got to wait till the end of the month for the coupon, or you give me 10% now? He's like, yeah, I'll give you 10%.
Well, this guitar that I got right here, this one that I got it as a stupid deal of the day. I got it for $89 at Guitar Center. And I got it before. I'm not really bashing on them. I just thought it was a funny story. I mean, I get stuff from Guitar Center all the time. It's not an issue. But I just thought, you know, why on earth tell a customer who spends money there, because it's not like a return.
Especially he can look up your purchase history. He knows how much you spent.
He did, and he knew that I do take some things back because I don't like it. But you know what?
That's what return policy's for.
What frustrates me, this is the issue that really stuck in my craw a little bit. I don't know how many things I have bought there that did not have a box, that I bought it off the shelf without a box, without the tchotchkes, without everything I needed,
and no discount,
and zero discount. But then they want to take, when I bring everything back exactly packaged like brand new, they wanted to take $150 from me.
You know why? Because they got you over whatever, and they know that, you know, most people won't do anything about it. That's why they do that.
Right. So, but the issue is not declaring that in the first place. I just thought and so he looked at my thing. Yeah, I've taken things back because it didn't meet my needs.
Yeah. But to me, it's a matter of integrity with people like that. You know, that's.
Well, he probably is looking at it like, oh, this guy you wanted to charge your rental fee because you buy something on Friday and you bring it back on Monday. Did you use it over the weekend for a gig?
Well, yeah. But I even told him what I was doing with it, and I told him, again, this is not really digging on. I still buy stuff from them, and they technically have it. But this is just what he said, and I know he was probably just hacked off because I ended up getting all my money back. But the thing
he
is,
didn't make his commission for the day. That's what.
Well, yeah, that's just it. Yeah, he loses the commission from it. Probably.
But I did help him sell it the next day. So.
Yeah, but he lost his commission from you. That was.
He wanted the commission twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on which guy you get, you know.
I can say this, that is a real Jew move. I can say that. None else can. Unless you're Jewish.
Because, my Helix, they originally only gave me 10% off, and then, the next week, I got a thing saying, oh, if you trade in, we'll give you 15%. So I called him. I said, hey, look, I just bought this last week. You guys gave me 10. Will you give me 15 instead? He goes, yeah, just bring your receipt in.
Wow.
So that was,
It
goes both ways. Sometimes you get a good guy, sometimes you get a shithead. Oh,
all of the forums at the time, there was people who were saying that they were getting 20% off, and I could not get anybody to give me the 20% off when I got it. Downs wouldn't give it to me. I couldn't get anybody to give me any. So I paid full price for mine.
Good thing you're getting a lot of use out of it then.
Well, that's true. Yeah. I don't even regret it. I would. I don't want to tell Line 6. I'd have paid more.
Don't you even utter those words.
Don't even throw that out there.
We won't say anything, right? Wink, wink.
You put that on the
video, Frank, guess what Chad said?
Hey, I want a free T-shirt now.
You're gonna have to edit the video before you post it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull it off the video before he posts it. But you know, that's the thing. They're going for that higher market. You know that I think people have that perception that Line 6 is cheap stuff, and it's not. I mean, I love my HD 500. I just wanted the Helix just because I thought it would be fun to play with.
I used to like my little lima bean thing, but then other stuff came out. I had one of the Johnson J stations. Remember them?
Those are pretty. Those are really good. Let's see. Does anybody know Scott Grove on the internet?
I don't know.
Scott Grove. He says those are like the best modelers ever, and I believe that he may be right at that moment in time, but you won't find them anywhere anymore. They're hard to find. The Johnson Millennium.
Yeah, the J stations.
So you know what would be cool? This is what I think would be cool. Like on the amps that they're modeling, like the Fender Twin, right? It doesn't have a built-in vibrato in the amp block, does it?
No.
See, I think they should do that. Throw it like if they're really gonna model that amp to the built-in. Like if it had a spring reverb in the box, you know, do that on the amp model itself.
And a master volume too on some of them. I had one.
You know, or like the Princeton chorus, you know, it was a solid state amp, but I mean they could throw the chorus right into the amp. Because like was it GarageBand? If you pop up, you know, it's GarageBand, but hey, it's free. You know, the amp itself, if it had reverb on the amp, it's got a reverb knob on the amp.
Even the IK Multimedia stuff is fairly true to the amp.
Has anybody ever heard of them modeling the OPV chorus?
No.
It's PV.
I'd like to, you know what I'd like to see? I don't know if anybody remembers this. The Galleon Kruger, they made the 250 ml. The thing was a lunchbox amp, and it was freaking 100 watts.
And it had like two brackets
loud
on the side.
It was loud. It had a built-in chorus and a built-in echo and a built-in compression on it, man. Wow. I think Alex Lifeson was using one of them like in the 80s. I don't know. I'd love to see them model that thing. It's such a unique 80s type of sound, you know, that heavy chorus and the echo.
We were talking with Ben about the 80s earlier today, and its chorus, it's drippy wet chorus.
What model Taylor is that there, Raz?
It's the 214. It's, you know, low end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it sounds all right. I like it.
I just bought an Eastman that plays like a Taylor.
Yeah.
Like a cheap you know, a cheaper Taylor. I only paid like $300 for mine, but it came with the pickup stuff inside the sound hole.
Yeah, this has an under the bridge.
Yeah, but you got the ones like right there on the front too, right?
No, it's just under the bridge. There's no mic in it.
No, I meant the controls in the front.
Oh yeah. The controls up here. No tuners though. That's always been annoying to me that they don't put a tuner on it.
But then it would be like a Takamine.
Or Breedlove. Yeah, I got a 12-string Breedlove. I like that one too.
Do you really?
Yeah, but I don't play it as much because I have the 12 on the Variac. So it's like, why break out the acoustic, tune it, and play like 2 songs and put it away for 6 months?
That's why I got my Yamaha Pacifica 12-string because I had one on my GR55.
I mean, it's not quite the same, but it's good.
Yeah. So how much do these Variax things go for? I know the Joe Styler is like $1,000, right?
$799.
Yeah, about 800, I think.
Really? And you guys really think they're worth it? I mean, even though I have a Strat and a Les Paul and a Les Paul Jr. and whatever else.
Yeah, the Strat I just showed you sits in the bag.
Oh.
I don't play it.
That's how good it is.
I play the Variax all the time, yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Whip, go ahead, Whip. You said something?
You said $800 for Variax?
Yeah.
Somebody?
Around there, you can find them, yeah.
Oh, really? I just paid $1,700.
Which one did you get?
Where do you live, Whip?
The 89 FBR.
Is that a USA model?
Is it a US made one?
Nope. Don't think so.
Because that's
old GTV.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Are you in the United States? Or are you in a different country?
He's in
Canada.
Yeah.
That's why. Yeah.
$200 for one of ours. So.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I would get your money back and take a trip down to the United States.
Right? And just come over the border.
Go to Manny's in New York City.
There's bound to be a Guitar Center somewhere in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, pre-buy it. Just order one and pre-buy it and take. I don't know.
Yeah, but they got to go back across the border.
What?
They would check you.
I don't think that bringing a guitar is not an issue across the border.
Well, it depends on the wood. Actually, it does.
Well,
yeah, the wood.
But the Variax is not going to have a wood that is a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I'm not supposed. I was told by somebody not to talk about the wood that is on here.
Okay, but you already did. Nope.
I didn't know. I didn't say
I know,
nothing.
I know.
I did. I said, but he said, Larry Mitchell. I was telling him what it was made out of, and he goes, "Hey, just make sure you just tell him it's a baked enamel."
Yeah, yeah.
It's some sort of baked synthetic wood.
plywood, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dark baked plywood. Well, it's been a good broadcast.
Almost 3 hours.
Yeah, my wife probably would like me to join the real world again.
Yep. And the only thing you could say, Chad, is yes, dear.
Yep.
That's it.
After yesterday when I was it was sunny out and my wife, we were sitting in the car and we were talking in line and I was kind of looking at her and I was getting the sunlight to hit her eyes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You're asking for trouble then.
Yeah, and she caught on that I was joking, and now my arm hurts.
Oh, we know what happened there.
No, not my strumming arm.
After you woke up an hour later. The phone.
I'll see you guys. I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Okay. So right, thank you guys very much. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Whip.
Enjoyed it.
Very nice. It'll be up on. I'll post it later so that everybody can revisit it.
Hey, edit out that comment about the price.
Nah, they know I was kidding. Alrighty.
See you later.
Bye bye.